Hello, you beautiful people. I am back again after some time I've been occupied with personal things, but I'm back again with a new tier list, this time on a different tier list website. The website in question this time is tiermaker.com. You do need a Twitter account to sign in, and my Twitter account's only like on a trial. I'll probably get rid of it in like a week or whatever. I've only hadn't had it that long, but yeah. Anyway, enough of my rambling. So this list is the Ultimate Actors tier list. According to this, there are over 200 actors on this, and as you can see, look at all these faces. I don't even recognize half of them. I mean, geez. I might have to make a part 2 of this tier list part 2, but I think you get the idea. I'm gonna try to rank all these guys as best I can because I love movies, and I kind of like doing this kind of stuff. I kind of like arguing whose aspects make who better when it matters. And even then, I still like to compare apples to apples with my friends, even my family, just for fun. Excuse me. Well, let me readjust. Sorry about that. And I think, without further ado, we're gonna get started. Don't forget, I'm giving you the completely non-mandatory option to leave a like and maybe subscribe. You can do either of those to claim your absolutely free nothing at all, which would be good, I learned that trick from another YouTuber, and I could link his channel if it's requested. So, anyways, without further ado, I want to start off this list with a definite winner. Keanu Reeves is first. Now, I love Keanu Reeves, and what can I say about him? All of the Matrix movies are awesome. All the John Wick films are badass. And even though his only low mark is his performance in that one Dracula movie, that was still early in his career. You can't win them all. But Keanu has constantly shown he is an amazing person. He is obviously shown for The Matrix and John Wick. He is a very excellent actor. And the new John Wick Resurrections? Not John Wick, sorry. My mistake. I don't know why. I was thinking of John Wick 4 and Matrix 4 at the same time. But yeah, in case that mess up wasn't obvious, a John Wick 4 and Matrix Resurrections are coming. And I will definitely drop money to see those. So, this is an easy choice. Keanu Reeves is, come on, scroll up, an S-tier actor. No question about it. Now, before I go on, I know if there's guys in here I don't recognize, I'm not even going to rank them. Because I still don't know if I'm going to have to do a part 2 because of the video's runtime or not. Anyway, Will Smith is next, because I don't wait, no, that might be Kevin Hart, but I'm just going to do Will Smith and not mention him. So, Will, was in the Aladdin remake as the new genie, technically carrying on Robin Williams' legacy. I mean, he does great singing for Disney, even though I love his raps better. And even though I kind of prefer Robin Williams' style, Smith did an amazing job using what he had as the next genie actor. And too many people slam him simply for taking the role because of Robin Williams. And really, at one point, even the most unreplaceable of roles are going to become replaceable. Sorry, but that's just how it is. The only downside to him is he did, have an affair with Margot Robbie. And even, yeah, what else can I say? It's like, I don't remember ever hearing him atone for any of his actions, but due to his skill, and due to his skill, it kind of normally be an A tier, but all the negatives I've heard and seen have been seen that are proven, I knocks him down to a B for me. Alright, so Kevin Hart's next. He's this guy. So I like Kevin Hart. He's a great comedian. He's my favorite short man of all time. And what else can I say about him? He's genuinely funny. He has a great duo with Dwayne Johnson, another one of my favorites. So Kevin Hart is an A tier. Only because I find Jeff Dunham funnier. Don't hate me for that, that's just how I feel. Anyway. So, next up, this guy, I think he's John Boyega, the Finn actor from the sequel trilogy of Star Wars. He did, despite the sequel trilogy being, bleh, he did an amazing job with his character in The Force Awakens. And of the ones of all three of them, The Force Awakens is my favorite one. Like I said, he was a great Finn, a defected stormtrooper Finn that, I don't know why I'm making this 5 minutes long. Basically, he did a great job with what he had, and he has an energy about him in that movie, and that I like, so I'm gonna go ahead and put him with Will Smith, because I hadn't seen him in enough stuff. Vin Diesel. Look at him. He's great. He's Groot in the MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe, in case you haven't gotten that culture. In the Fast and the Furious movies, several of them are good, and a few are questionable. As far as I know, to me, there's no awful Fast and Furious movie, except, even though my dad didn't like Hobbs and Shaw, he wasn't a part of it anyway, so. But yeah, Vin does an amazing job, and I'm gonna have to put Vin Diesel in an A tier, because I've seen him in more stuff, and I love all of his roles. As a quick reminder, I'm gonna skip over people that I don't recognize. I think this might be Mike Myers, but until I find out, I'm skipping these 5 people. So let's look at the Chris Rock. So, I remember him from the Madagascar movies as the zebra, Marty. And I've watched, I think I've seen a comedy stand-up or two. I don't quite remember, but yeah. I don't have a whole lot of info on him. For his breakups and divorces, I have no info on who was the issue in there. But I haven't seen him in anything in a long time. Not to mention Grown Ups. Those are probably my favorite Sandler movies of all time. But as I don't have a whole lot I could say for or against him, he's gonna be a C tier. And speaking of Grown Ups, Adam Sandler. I love Grown Ups, both of them actually, despite 2 technically being worse. And I just like Adam Sandler. He's always pretty funny, even though Jack and Jill was dog shit. He's pretty funny. Because my mind is not mature enough to understand better types of humor, but I have to throw him in there with Smith and Boyega. Because I haven't seen too many of his films, even though I've seen enough of them to like how he acts in them. But even still, not too many bangers to other people, and so far these 3 guys have been in more good things than bad things, so mostly Keanu, but yeah, anyway. And now our goth Sith villain of the sequel trilogy, Adam Driver. I've only seen him in the sequel trilogy of Star Wars. I've only seen him in those things. I literally have never watched another one of his movies. But because he nailed Kylo Ren in those movies as well as he could, I gotta put him there with Sandler. He needs to be in better stuff before I can give him a better rating. Oh, Leo DiCaprio. The only movie I've personally seen of this guy is Django, and he did a great job as Calvin Candy in that movie. I've heard he is a bit, iffy, pretty eccentric, as with a good majority of actors. And, I don't know. I don't know if I put him in an A tier. I mean, I think he's better than Chris Rock, obviously. For Django alone, he's better than Chris Rock. So, I guess I'll put him up in the Will Smith squad. Because why not? Oh, Sylvester Stallone. This is another face that I love. In case you don't know, he voiced King Shark in the new Suicide Squad. Directed by James Gunn. Objectively a very definite improvement over the original. But people are gonna hate it for no reason, so I'm gonna shut them out because they don't know objectivity. And my dad really loves the Expendables. I've seen some of his Expendables work, and I kind of liked it too. Of course, he and other roles and all that, especially the Rambo movies, he does great. I think he's about an A tier with Team Kevin Hart. So whoever I put first in all these tiers, as a side note, this is Team Keanu Reeves, Team Kevin Hart, Team Will Smith, and Team Chris Rock. And these three will have teams pretty soon. I don't know who that is. I know it. Somehow I don't recognize enough of these guys as I should, even though I've all seen them all at one place or another. But this looks like Joseph Gordon-Levitt a little bit. I can't judge at the moment. Anyway, we're gonna move on to good old Tom Holland. I'd say, in all honesty, even still, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man is my favorite. He comes in a super close second. Sorry, Andrew Garfield, but you did the best what you were given, but it wasn't enough. Anyway, Tom does great as a teenage Peter Parker. He's actually, even though he's like technically in his mid-20s this year, probably. Kind of like my older sister. Sorry, he does great playing a teenager. Even better than Tobey, arguably. I think Tom Holland is another A tier for me, as all I've seen him in is the MCU, so I need to diversify my palette. I think the guy, I don't recognize these guys, but Nick Cage. I often like the joke that Nick Cage is the apocalypse, but I honestly did like his performance in the first Ghost Rider. And yeah, there's not a whole lot else I could say other than I've heard that he is good when meeting with individual people. When he gets swarmed, he retreats into himself. So I'm gonna go ahead and put, because Nick Cage was also in Kick-Ass, which I liked, I'm gonna go ahead and say he's Team Will Smith tier. Hold on for a second, I gotta plug up my computer and I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Sorry my computer is gonna die and I've still got quite a shitload of people to go through. So I've decided, in the time I was gone, that for all the guys I don't know, I'm gonna put them in the very bottom. Not because I absolutely despise them, but I'm only putting them in the bottom because I don't know them, or don't remember them. And if you could tell me who at least a couple of these guys are that are down here, you can pause anytime you want, after all. Then feel free to tell me in the comments. Okay, I think this was the last guy I didn't recognize, so we got a fresh list. Alright, let's start this one with Channing Tatum, who's way in the back right here. Now, tried watching White House Down, and I thought I actually kind of liked it, but other than like White House Down and maybe another movie or two I don't remember, I haven't seen him in a whole lot, and I can't really determine how good he would be in my book so clearly. I'm sorry, Channing, you're a great looking guy. You got the looks and the charm, but I gotta pair you with Team Chris Rock for the moment. If anything changes, then I might come back to this list. Oh, Anthony Mackie. This is a great guy. Despite the fact that he and Sebastian Stan, kind of go after Tom Holland nearly relentlessly, I still love his work. I love his Falcon portrayals in the MCU. And there's even another movie where he teamed up with Seth Rogen and Joseph Gordon-Levitt. It is a Christmas-themed movie about one of the guys of the three I listed. He loses his parents, and he and Seth Rogen's character try to cheer him up with a Christmas tradition that's lasted basically decades. And I really liked that movie because it kind of was a PSA on preserving friendships while moving on with your life. Something that Levitt's character didn't really embrace until the end of the movie. So I also think Mackie is an A tier also. I kind of like also that they just have Keanu Reeves sitting alone in the S tier, but no one else has really gotten to the S tier. But from these pictures I'm focusing on right now, that's going to change very quickly. I know that's Tom Hanks, and I think this is Jack Nicholson. I need another moment to get my glasses. Excuse me. Okay, we're back. Sorry, I couldn't make out any of their faces. Maybe I might recognize a couple and put them in higher tiers. I said I'm putting everyone I don't recognize into S tiers. Not S tiers, sorry. This F tier. Anyways, I think this is Jack Nicholson, if I'm not mistaken. Looks like him, but I'm going to hold off on that judgment for now and move on to Tom Hanks, which is this guy. I love Tom Hanks in Forrest Gump, and he really gives Woody from Toy Story a very good personality, with obstacles that he can overcome thanks to script writing. I've kind of felt bad for Tom Hanks when I found out that he contracted COVID-19 in the early days of the pandemic. So, I'm going to have to put Tom Hanks as another B tier for Team Will Smith. And by the way, the F tier is going to be Team Unknowns, or Not Remembereds. Once again, sorry for the reminding, I'm going to put every face I don't recognize or don't remember in the F tier until I figure out something else. This guy looks kind of like the cute killer that there are TikTok cults about. Even if that's not him, he'd still most likely go in this tier. Ben Stiller. Another one of the people who voiced an anthropomorphic animal in Madagascar. This one in particular is Alex the Lion. He did a great job. As much I know, and I've heard he is way more, mediocre than a lot of other actors. And outside of like the animated stuff that he's been in, and maybe another movie or two I don't remember at the moment, he doesn't cut the mustard for me. I honestly think Chris Rock's better than Ben Stiller. So Stiller is gonna take the D tier as Team Ben Stiller. I don't recognize him or him. I think this is Brendan Fraser. I remember him from the Mummy movies, and he did amazing in those. I think the third one was my favorite. Even though I barely remember the other two, and I liked him in Journey to the Center of the Earth, too. You know? Not the sequel, the first one, obviously, just so nobody gets confused. Other than that, I don't have a whole lot else to say about him, so... And because I don't have a whole lot of info, I'm going to have to place him also in a C tier with Channing Tatum. I don't recognize him. Sorry. Oh, Mark Ruffalo. I remember him from, since 2012, he's been Bruce Banner, even though Edward Norton was technically robbed. But hey, what can you do? Corporatocracies, Anyway, he did a great job as Bruce Banner, playing the shy guy that just kind of like is just there, is only useful when he's needed. And I remember him also from Zodiac. He does a great job with Jake Gyllenhaal too. So yeah, I'm gonna have to put Mark Ruffalo. Can't scroll with this, so if it looks like I'm putting him in the lower tier, I'm sorry, but I gotta do it because it won't scroll with it is the bad part. I have an idea real fast, so I'm gonna present my stop again and present my idea in a second. And here it is. I made it smaller. In case you don't know how to do it, I mean everyone with a computer should know how to do it. You hold Control while pressing either minus for image decrease and plus for image increase. Alright, so now with that I can more easily categorize people. Hold on. Is that... It looks like Eddie Murphy. I don't know. I want to assume that's Eddie Murphy, but I'll skip him for now. So, Christopher Walken, as another one of my favorite elderly actors, along up there with Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen. He does a great job in his roles. It's like, really great job. He kind of acts with an energy that I can really feel, and connect with. I feel like I'm there alongside him sometimes, honestly, in some of his roles. Like, other than that, I don't got nothing else to say about him. So, Christopher Walken is another S tier. He's with Team Keanu Reeves, in my honest opinion. Before we go on, I'm gonna go ahead and make a quick run through one of these guys, because his image just appeared. So, here, Johnny Depp, automatic S tier. Because he's been through a lot. He's great as Jack Sparrow. He was even great in the awful Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory remake. Heck, he basically nails any role he's in, and he's been through a lot of shit, and it's about time he earned a break, And to show my support, he's on Team Keanu Reeves too. Okay, back to the main thing. I want to say this is Eddie Murphy. Even still, I think I'm going to go ahead and assume that this is Eddie Murphy until I see otherwise. But I liked him as Donkey in the Shrek franchise, and I liked him in a couple of his comedian stuffs on Netflix and such, but he's fallen from grace. He's about Ben Stiller level. Oh, Chris Pratt. This one's easy. I loved him as Star-Lord, even though he screwed up in Infinity War. And all of his movies, all the movies he's in, even the Jurassic World movies, he nails his roles. He does an amazing job with what he's presented and with what he gets. As I'm looking now, I'm seeing a shitload of actors I recognize. So we're into the good categories now. Anyways, Chris Pratt's an easy A tier. He's not quite Keanu Reeves amazing, but he's pretty amazing. Chris is almost a perfect man. Hey, look at that. We get another Chris in the same row. Hemsworth. He does a great job as Thor in the MCU, and even though he's in that shitty-ass 2016 Ghostbusters remake and the shitty-ass Men in Black International, he still does a great job with what he has. Another A-tier guy. Ooh, Will Ferrell. I did like him in things like Semi-Pro and some other minor movies. I also liked how he kind of gave Megamind from his DreamWorks movie life. Made him. You ever hear the phrase "sympathy for the villain"? After the first act, his portrayal of that blue character that's memed to death already kind of was like a hashtag relatable. That creates sympathy for the villain after he realizes this isn't what I wanted. I want to change. So, just for that, even though he is a bit, standoffish, can get lost in his characters and seem like a bit of a dick, I'm going to go ahead and say, I'm going to hate me if you want, but I'm going to go ahead and say he's a B-tier actor. Next, oh man, I've been waiting for this one. Robert Downey Jr. Look at him. This is a story of the redemption arc from any movie ever was a person. The fact that he had awful enough Burger King food to stop his substance abuse, that's actually inspiring. Easy money, RDJ's an S tier actor. Go team Keanu Reeves. I don't recognize this guy. Oh, this one's Bradley Cooper. Look at that Bradley Cooper guy. I liked him in the Hangover trilogy, and I know I haven't seen a whole lot of other of his movies. I like how he's able to portray the guy acts like a distant asshole because of reasons that ultimately still ends up being a force for good in the end. Even still, I'd say Bradley Cooper's another B tier. He's not quite A. So, that one looks like Robert Pattinson, but I don't know. But Dwayne, hell yeah, look at that guy. Look at that Dwayne Johnson. He is a hell of a man. He's one of the nicest guys ever. He hasn't really let fame go to his head too much, at least not recently. And he's just overall an amazing individual. Hell, you ever hear the story of the girl tried to get a prom date and she ended up asking Dwayne Johnson on Twitter of all places to go, but he still accommodated her even though he couldn't, and that girl became internet famous? Yeah, that's how far he's willing to go. Now, I've just heard of it in the video. I'm not sure I have any of the actual evidence to prove its existence, but still, it's like, I don't doubt this can happen, because I don't doubt that these things can happen. So, I'm going to give that story a benefit of the doubt. Dwayne Johnson, easy. I don't know if he's an S. Yeah, let's put him in S tier, because he kicks ass in all of his movies, and he's an absolute, he's basically all that is man in a bodybuilder body. So, hell yeah. Chris Evans, another A tier. He does great Captain America. Even though he's atheist, that doesn't bother me too much because I'm agnostic. And he just nails his roles, and he did the best he could with Johnny Storm's Human Torch in the forgotten Fantastic Four movies. He's just great. And I'm gonna have to leave this one here so far. So I'm gonna try to name off everyone that I've got these tiers, except for like the F tier, because I don't recognize anyone in there at the moment. So anyway, in Team Keanu Reeves, we got Keanu, of course. We got Christopher Walken, Johnny Depp, Robert Downey Jr., and Dwayne Johnson. In Team Kevin Hart, the A tier, we have Kevin Hart, Vin Diesel, Sylvester Stallone, Tom Holland, Anthony Mackie, Mark Ruffalo, Chris Pratt, Chris Hemsworth, and Chris Evans. B tier, aka Team Will Smith, we got Will Smith, John Boyega, Adam Sandler, Adam Driver, Leonardo DiCaprio, Nicolas Cage, Tom Hanks, Will Ferrell, and Bradley Cooper. Team Chris Rock, the C tier, we have Chris Rock, of course, Channing Tatum, and Brendan Fraser. And then we have Team Ben Stiller in the D tier with just Ben and Eddie Murphy. They rose high and fell way too fast. And the F tier is going to be Team I don't remember them, or I forgot them. Anyways, I said the website is tiermaker.com. You'll need a Twitter account to sign in. And mine's already on a trial, but I'm going to try to complete this tier list before I decide to get rid of that Twitter account. So thank you for bearing with me as I make this 5 miles longer than it needs to be, and I will see you in another time and date. See ya.